It is 50%. Let me make sure I have my water and
Yeah,
all my
we
goods.
Facebook.
What happened?
No, I see it says live on Facebook.
Awesome. Okay. That's okay. I'm going to change it right now.
Okay. What up? What up? What up?
Go ahead.
Oh, what up? What up? What up? It's Pope the Blueprint, the host of the number one networking show. And I like to take the first couple of seconds of each show to highlight any local brands that I may be wearing. And tonight I am wearing XI11, which is a local 16-year-old entrepreneur. And so
Amazing.
I encourage everybody to support your local brands. Now we are back. We as in a team for Women's Wealth. And she's no longer a guest. We're
Woo!
now co-hosts for the Women's Wealth. And so enough about what I'm talking about. Let's turn it over to the dopest, the most knowledgeable, the most humble, the most awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What up, you guys? I'm super excited to be here. There was some stuff the devil tried to get me a couple of hours ago. Actually, it was less than an hour ago, but you're going to get this well today. That's what we're going to do. We're going to level up. So I'm super excited. My name is Tynesia Evans. I own One Brilliant Body, Functional Nutrition and Wellness, where I help you use the symptoms of your body to up level of your body, to heal it, to rebuild it, to reboost it, all of that good stuff. We're going to use food and nutrition to do that. I teach you the cheat codes of your body so that you can live the fullness and the abundance of the life that you really desire to live for yourself. A lot of the world and a lot of medical professionals will tell you that you're stuck with this one body. Whatever goes wrong, you just kind of have to deal with it. That is not true. You can heal, build, restore, replenish, rehabilitate, regrow the most brilliant body that you can. And you can also carry that over into living the most brilliant life that you can. I believe that. I know that. I live that. And it doesn't have to be hard. And you do not have to count any calories because I got you. So let's go on in and get started. So today I'm going to teach you about autophagy. I know it sounds super duper fancy. It's really not. Yes, autophagy. So it's spelled Autophagy. So it looks like autophagy, but I guess if you want to pronounce it, you can like that. But remember, I told you I'm gonna teach you how to be a scientist. So we're gonna talk some science stuff right now. A little science, hip hop science. We got that, okay? So autophagy. So auto actually means self, and phagy actually means eat. So what this cellular process is a cellular process allowing your body the opportunity to actually eat its own cells. I know it sounds super weird, but let's just roll with me for a minute. So the definition of autophagy is the consumption of the body's own tissue as a metabolic process occurring in the starvation of certain diseases. So does that sound familiar to anybody? Intermittent fasting, right? So that's exactly where intermittent fasting came from. The only, I would say, not so good thing, because remember in a couple videos I told you before, let's not think in terms of good and bad. It's a neutral thing because we may not have all of the information to make an assessment of what is beneficial and what's not beneficial. So this is actually a beneficial process to the body, although it sounds like a negative. We are constantly making cells. I always tell you, these bodies are brilliant. They know what to do. They know innately what to do. There's a biblical scripture that healing is in the earth. Our bodies are made from earth, which means our bodies are self-healing. I don't ever want you to forget that. Remember that. So there's a difference between our chronological age and our biological age. So chronologically, you're the age, the number, the amount of birthdays that you've had. So biologically, you're the age of how your body is processing at its metabolic rate. So you can be 38, but you can be 68 with the way that your body's processing, right? So there might be too high levels of fat. You could have diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, dementia, neurodegenerative diseases, right? All of that can make you a 68-year-old person in a 38-year-old body. Think
Wow.
about that. Or you can be 38 years old and you could have the biologic age of a 20-year-old. We all look at these celebrities and we think they have all these secrets. I promise you, the secret is food and nutrition and the submission to that. So some of them, yes, they do get a little tucked and plucked and sucked and poked and things like that. That's your business. No hate, no shade, but I'm gonna help you detox because that stuff is toxic. But you can also take really, really good care of yourself with food and nutrition. That works for everybody. So you don't have to have millions of dollars. I still suggest that you use your genius and do what you got to do to take care of yourself. However, that is not the end all be all. I want you to understand that everybody comes in here with the same opportunity. Like that quote that we love by Beyonce or about Beyonce, we all get the same 24 hours in the same 24 hours, right? She's doing all these amazing genius things. You're the same type of genius. I want you to understand that. You have the same potential. So I want you to use food and nutrition to heal your body, restore your body, and rebuild it. As you're rebuilding those new cells, think about all those $1 million ideas that you're going to have that continue to regrow. Think about all the opportunity you have because now you have so much energy that you can actually put the effort towards those ideas, the efforts toward that next invention, the efforts towards that, I don't know, that new product that's going to change my life because we're here on the earth together to help each other. So I really want you to think of that as a part of your metabolic process. Yes, we're talking about autophagy, but I also want you to think bigger than that. So I want you to think about what energy in my life that's not doing me good can I recycle into something that's going to bring me abundance? So really think cognitively about that. So autophagy is a health term. So that means in regards to your body, it's a biological process and it happens all the time. It's happening now. So think about when we get a bruise, right? So we hit the skin, it gets hot, it probably hurts, maybe it burns a little. That's a whole bunch of cellular damage, right? But as time progresses, it hurts less, the swelling goes down, the skin gets back to normal, right? It's not purple anymore, right? So what happened? Those cells that died were recycled, and the building blocks of those cells were used to make new skin, new cells, new muscle repair. That is what autophagy is. The same way that people can get like a neurodegenerative disease or have a head injury, right? We think, oh, it's a miracle. And it is. It absolutely is. Because you are a miracle. Your body does these natural processes. However, if you're not supporting it with the right type of high quality nutrition, you are not going to be as likely to allow your immune system, because it's a part of your immune system, the opportunity to constantly rebuild and show up for you. So that's what I want you to understand about autophagy. Yes, it's a super fancy word, one of those super cool fancy words that I paid for, but I'm giving it to you for free because I want you to succeed.
Yeah.
So
No,
go ahead.
no, I was saying, you know what? It's so important because, like you said, the food helps support that environment. And that's
Absolutely.
where people have to really link everything together is
Absolutely.
that your body automatically wants to do that. It
Yes.
wants to do that. You don't have to sign a sheet and
No,
say, body, do
no.
this.
Yeah.
You automatically come that
Yeah.
way.
You do. Download it with Genius. And we're sitting on it, right? We're not allowing it to do its best.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me, and it's my passion, and I want you guys to be passionate about it because I believe in you. I believe in you, Pope. I believe in all these people who are going to watch this video. I want you to live your best life. It is not difficult. It is not hard. I don't want you looking at an apple and saying it's boring. I want you to look at that apple and say, my body knows instinctively how to break that apple down and make it be the best source of nutrition for this brilliant body for me to do whatever it is I need to do in my life. That is how I want you to think of food and nutrition. And people get so caught up in thinking, oh, I need the greasiest and the saltiest and all the seasonings and all of that good stuff. I promise you, what you're really attracted to is the investment and time that it took to prepare that delicious meal. And if you do that the same way, and you and I both know because we've done it before, if you do that the same way and it's something nutritious for your body, you feel connected in a much different way, right? You don't feel exhausted after. You don't have the itis. Listen, the itis is a real thing. It happens. It happens, Hats off to the chefs. But
Yeah.
it doesn't feel so good, right? It just doesn't. You feel much better when you know you ate something that's taking care of your body, that's healing your body, that's stimulating your body, and it's allowing you the opportunity to, it lifts you, right? It lifts you up higher. You can think clearer. You have a moment of genius. You're like, wow, I never thought about that before. You know, you're able to read the little book a little bit faster. You can grab a kid before they hit the floor because they be doing all kinds of stuff, right? So you on your toes, right? And that's the way I want you to feel about the opportunity to nourish your body. Like I've said before, our immune systems are brilliant, but we don't know what we're being faced with. So why not give your body the best opportunity every single day? Now, listen, I'm not saying that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy foods that you love. Listen, I love pizza, but I'm vegan. And there's nothing wrong with that. So my pizza is a plant-based option and it's going to be the best option for my body. Whereas other people may not be vegan, but you should still have the best quality foods in your body because you need to produce the best quality output in your life. So I really want you all to think cognitively about that and make it more of a conscious process. How can I support this body in doing what it knows instinctively to do? Because I don't know necessarily what's going on around me. So autophagy is the key actually in the medical community. It's not shared, of course, because we talked about that in the last video. They're not trying to keep you healthy. There's no money in that. But I promise you, for you, there's money in keeping you healthy because you're going to be here in order to share those genius ideas and have those brilliant moments that you're searching for. You're not going to be trying to play the scratch out for the lottery because you're going to be able to print your own money with your brilliant ideas because you're healthy. So that's the point. So neurodegeneration, I told you guys about that. Any type of neurological issues that you may be having, could be having, or because of lack of positive nutrition, you could be faced with. Remember, I told you about type 3 diabetes? It is an extreme nutritional deficiency. So I'm telling you, you not consistently not getting enough nutritious foods, not choosing to nourish your body, too much stress, going too hard, thinking that if you stay at the job for 16 hours instead of the 8 hours you're supposed to be to get your little promotion, as soon as you get off, or as soon as you finally get the chance to retire, now you've had a stroke because you've had a nutritional deficiency because you were given all those wonderful years to somebody else's dream. This is what I'm talking about. I don't want you to live like that. The statistics say that we work for how many years? I don't even know what the statistic was, but you only get 11 years supposedly after you retire. How dare you? That's unacceptable. There's too much brilliance in you to only be able to live 11 years off of a limited amount that you worked 20, 30, 40, 50 years for. That's unacceptable. And I really don't want you to settle for that. So, cardiomyopathy, so that's heart issues, circulatory issues, diabetes, liver disease, autoimmune diseases, and infections. So, autophagy can actually allow you the opportunity, strengthen your body to heal these types of issues, things that we were taught that are either unpreventable or unavoidable, but they're absolutely all preventable, 100% preventable. Now, there can be accidents that happen, but again, we're giving our bodies the best opportunity to overcome any types of issues that we may not necessarily know about. Think about people who, maybe athletes, they have a catastrophic accident, and then within 2 to 5 years, they're back on the court, right? And we're like, how did they do that? It's because of this, and they got this person and that person. But the focus is they knew how to nourish their body. And maybe they didn't, so they just hired someone that is off their mind. Maybe they don't have a connection to what they're actually doing. They're just like, well, I got to do this because this is my job. But I promise you, think about John Sally. He played, right? He is 100% vegan now. So whatever he learned throughout the process of him training and consuming and learning and training and consuming and learning and trying to get better at his craft, eventually it clicks for him. Oh, what I put in is going to help me produce a certain result. Now it is a lifestyle for him. And that lifestyle has allowed him to open businesses that are plant-based. He has plant-based wines. He's connected with plant-based businesses. I'm in the Inland Empire. He just opened a restaurant out here. So think about all of that brilliance that came from, wait a minute, I can change the way that I show up in the world if I give myself the best nutrition. If he never made that choice, the wine line wouldn't have happened. He would probably be retired and not be healthy, right? There would be no restaurant here. He wouldn't own, the businesses. Think about how all that fits together. And think about how autophagy fits into that. the redistributing of the cellular biology that we need in order to keep this body functioning healthily. It's a part of our immune system. Remember, I told you our immune system is brilliant. We think, it's just those little 3 areas I told you about, but this is just another area in which our body uses nutrition that we bring in to support us and allow us to be limitless. So this is why I'm constantly talking. People are, oh my gosh, you're such a nutrition nerd. I absolutely am. You have the opportunity to build and rebuild and boost and restore and regenerate whatever it is you want for your body. It doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be in a way that you feel like you're missing out on something, because there's going to be so much more that you gain when you choose to say no to things that don't support your brilliant body. Like, it's amazing. So
Yep.
let's talk.
Just one note before you go on
Yeah.
is a lot of people will take better care of their cars than they do their body. Like some people are so focused on what type of gas, what type
Yes.
of oil they put in
Yes.
their vehicle, but they'll put whatever in their body and they won't help support it. So
Yes.
we,
Unfortunately, right?
yeah,
And you would think like we have way more potential than a car. Like, come on, you guys. Like, I want people to respect we have these wonderful instruments of limitlessness, right? You remember that movie, right? Like his mind, the things that he thought of. And it was so interesting that just from a moment of consumption, his mind was open. It was unlocked. Like, seriously, I do. I know I put it in my hashtags and people probably think I'm crazy. Like, there's a health matrix. Like, you could really tap into some serious shit that will change your life by choosing to nourish your body instead of just trying to feed your face so you could do something. Like, I promise you. You guys see my little drinks, I put them all up. Yes, I make a big old container and I'll line them up and I'll put them in the freezer. I don't want problems because I'm still human. I might eat,
yeah,
some cookies or something that's sitting next to me at work, or a bag of popcorn. That's not nourishing my body. Yes, it's a good snack, but it's not a nourishing meal. You know what I mean? Something that's going to help me build these reports and to share this information with you. Think about this. What if I sat in all these classes and didn't retain the knowledge that I was getting because I chose to eat stupid stuff, right? So if I was sitting up there and autophagy just went over my head and I was like, oh yeah, I just need it for the test, right? Like, I just need it for
yeah,
the test. I don't really need it. Or being able to connect hip hop and health and wellness and nutrition. Like, people don't get it. I don't care who it is. Let's talk about Ms. Lizzo. Beautiful woman, right? But as soon as she had the opportunity to do the best for her body, what did she do? She changed her diet. She made sure she had her personal trainers come on in. She learned how to cook plant-based meals. So don't tell me that, oh, it's
yeah,
just because of money, or, oh, it's just because of this. You learn to do better once your life becomes better. But the only way to get to the better life is to choose better things that go in. Listen to
yeah,
her story. When she was doing crappy things for her body, she felt horrible. When she was going through pain, she used that as a therapy to share and write these beautiful songs that people are loving and healing to. And now she's inspiring people to do the same,
yeah,
right? That's a part of the process. Snoop did the same thing. He said he used to eat all kinds of dumb shit. And then as he got older, he was like, wait a minute, life is good now. I think I want to live. Let me start eating better. Let me start
yeah.
sharing that,
He's definitely
right?
on a plant diet.
Right? Absolutely. He loves the plants. Plants will do you good. I'm telling you. Absolutely. So I don't want people to get stuck on size because it's really not what it's about. Some of us do naturally have bigger bodies. My goal is I want you to be healthy and I want you to understand how brilliant your body is. That's the truth of the matter. Absolutely. So yes, so let's get on back to the benefits of autophagy. So providing your cells with the molecular building blocks, I talked a little bit about that, and energy. So autophagy is going to increase your energetic output. So it's going to allow you the opportunity to get better sleep. By getting better sleep, your body is going to detoxify better, which is not going to draw from the energy that you need for the day. So I remember I think it was maybe our second video, I told you that the most draining process in your body, energy draining process, is digestion. Isn't that crazy? Out of
Yeah,
everything you do all day. So you could run laps, you could do Venus and Serena back and forth. It ain't nothing. compared to your body actually digesting food. So think about how much energy that takes. So if you're feeding yourself horrible foods, horrible options, think about how much harder that's going to be on your body, right? And think about how much cellular degeneration you're creating for yourself when you're already putting things in your body that are, not to get on anyone's, bad side, but I gotta be real. If you're putting things in your body that are already decomposing and rotting and dying, not providing you with any type of nutritional benefit, think about how much more difficult it is for your body that's gonna have to search through trash. Think about it that way. How much more difficult? Your body's like, what is this? Like, what do I do? I can't even, maybe I can get a little something over there.
That's a great analogy, though. That's a great
Yeah.
analogy.
Right. So think about that energy input that you want out for yourself. Even if you start with just a small meal. When I first transitioned, I didn't ever, okay, so I'm sure you watched the video, but quick backstory. When I first transitioned into vegetarianism, all I did was just eliminate meat. There was no conscious decision. I just knew I wanted to feel better. And I knew that when I ate animal products, it didn't feel good. That's all I knew. So I didn't even have the verbiage or the knowledge. I just knew when I eat chicken or when I eat cheese or when I drink milk, my stomach hurts. I feel knocked out. I feel my energy draining. So as soon as I had the opportunity to take that off the plate, I just did. And it made me feel a little bit better. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, because I felt so bad, that little bit was amazing.
Wow.
So that was a click for me. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. Maybe this is as good as it gets. I'll stay here. And then eventually, as I began to study and learn and consume, but I had to make those changes because previously I was too exhausted to learn anything else about food. Doctors were telling me something was wrong with me as opposed to what I was actually choosing to do with my body. There was never a conversation about how about you change your foods that you're eating, or how about you try a plant-based milk, or how about you try an alternative, or how about you try more fruits and vegetables. There was never a conversation about that because, and maybe I wasn't in the place to accept it, but that would have allowed a mindset shift. So me doing it on my own was much different. So once I felt that, like I said, that little bit of feeling better was just, oh my gosh, like I did better at track. I did better in school. I wasn't exhausted in my classes. I was able to write my papers. That teeny beany bit actually allowed me the opportunity to really level up. And that was around high school. As I got older, as I started completing my bachelor degree, things got difficult for me again. College student now. So I'm a college student and I'm working full time. We know I ate crap because I was a college student and I was working full time. Furthermore, I worked in the mall. So where do you think I ate? The food court every single day, right? Going on down to Sbarro. Let me get my little pasta, give me a little piece of pizza, right? I'm thinking, oh, let me get the veggie pizza because I'm trying to be healthy, right? No, still gave me problems, But I just assumed, okay, well, I don't understand. I'm starting to feel really bad again because now that little bit was the norm. So I went down from this little baseline right here, right? And I was like, let me make a change. That baseline was lifted up, right? So then this became the baseline. And I was like, this doesn't feel so good. Maybe I could tweak something else. So then I took out cheese, right? Because that was the only thing that was really left. I didn't really worry about anything else. I didn't like eggs. It wasn't a big deal to me. And I remember taking out cheese and then also learning what food did inside of my body. I studied health administration initially. So health administration, I remember them talking about constipation was always an issue for me. So I remember thinking, okay, well, if I change my diet, will that fix my constipation? I wonder, let me try it out for a week. Amazing. So again, now I can poop, right? I know what to eat. My energy instantly went up because I wasn't full of shit. Like there were so many it was such little changes, but they were mind blowing for me. So I really want you guys to understand that it really doesn't take all of this difficulty that you think that it does. It really doesn't. Now, what is challenging is healing. What is challenging is the mindset shifts. Because I promise you, every person in my family was like, so you just ain't gonna eat? You just gonna sit up here at this table with so-and-so cooked and blah, blah, right? So now I'm the ungrateful brat because I'm just like, this hurts my stomach. I can't eat. Right? So everybody's at the table looking at me like, and my grandmother, thankfully, was the one that cooked. So she was like, you leave my baby alone. But think about that, right? You're the only Black kid in your family. You know how Black folks are about the the soul food, right? And I'm the one who can only eat certain things. So they were just looking at me like, you know, the face. Mm. She's soft, right? She's soft. Right? She just strange, that one. So now I'm feeling, I'm sitting at the kids' table. I'm the biggest one because I'm the first grandchild, right? So I had to be the first grandchild, the first girl. I can't eat anything. Everyone's looking like, something wrong with you. Well, they got the turkey legs and all their little stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong. I can't eat it. It doesn't feel good. So really having her, I told you before, having her really help me understand that your body is just different. Nothing's wrong with you was a huge mind shift for me. So I want to be able to share that with you all because it was a mind shift for me and it was painful because I just didn't get it. I was like, Grandma, I want I want that cake and I want that pie and I want the cookies. And like, I don't understand. Like, this is terrible. Everybody's at the table. I already can't play spades, right? I was little and I couldn't play spades. They didn't want me at the table. So I didn't learn how to play spades because you don't eat meat. So you can't sit up here. So now I'm not going to teach you how to play spades. It was just abuse, right? Just disrespectful. I learned. I'm good now. But I couldn't sit at the table. So I didn't learn. So having her just kind of sit me down and us have a conversation to where I felt seen, where I felt heard, and where it was a moment, an opportunity for me to respect my body's process instead of thinking something was wrong with me was amazing. So initially, it came in a way that I didn't quite understand. But like I said, understanding my body's biological process and learning to respect what my body knows intuitively to do, that was a huge mind shift for me. And that allowed me the opportunity to be where I am today, where I choose nutrition for this body. I choose to nourish this body. I choose to find and locate things that are going to help me be more effective, that are going to help me show you all how this lifestyle works, how choosing a lifestyle where you're promoting nutrition and nutritious foods and nutritious lifestyle can actually work for you. It's not difficult and it's not, you're not missing out on anything. Um, so recycling damaged proteins, organelles, and aggregates. You don't need to know what those are, but those are just different cells in your body that help you be your most brilliant self. Regulating functions of cells, mitochondria. We talked about those a couple videos ago. So your mitochondria are actually little powerhouses. They help to power your cells, but they also die. When they die, it's the process of autophagy. They get broken apart. We use those parts and we make up some new cells for you. Your body does, which help produce energy and stop, I would say, break down cells that can cause oxidative stress. So oxidative stress I talked about before. Oxidative stress is actually the death. It's a cellular death, but it's a cellular death from just being human. Let's use the example of working out. So you know how when you get sore, it's a buildup of lactic acid. Do you understand what happens to your muscles when you actually work out? You're actually creating micro tears. So you're taking that muscle and you're wringing it and you're tearing it and you're ripping it. I know it sounds really, really violent, but you're creating micro tears because when those micro tears heal, the scars are actually the muscle. That's what actually creates the muscle for you. So the scars from a cell, muscle that has actually been broken down from doing sets and reps actually grows back into a larger muscle. So that's why it hurts so bad. That's why it burns, because you're actually ripping up, opening those cells, breaking them apart, interjecting them with all kinds of, movement and all that good stuff. So when they grow back, when they start to heal, just like a scar, they're, it's bigger. It's less susceptible to any type of pain or things like that. Now it takes more reps to break it down, right? And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's pretty awesome. Our bodies are amazing. So oxidative stress is a great process. However, it can, if it's not adequately nourished, it can create cellular death in other areas. So like when you have a bag of fruit, right? If there's one bad apple, what do we all say? Spoils the bunch, right? So if you have that apple in there and it's not removed or it's not recycled in order to allow the other apples to grow, That's what oxidative stress can cause for your body. So like with your skin, if we don't take care of our skin, what do we start to see? Oxidative stress from the sun. We see hair loss, things of that nature, right? We see things that happen to our skin. We're not, it's not as bright, it's not as beautiful when we don't exfoliate, things like that. Even with washing, sometimes when we don't wash our skin, if we get super, super dirty, or if we're doing yard work or housework, you know, when you're like, ooh, Lord, right? And then you get in there and you wash it and it's dry for a couple of days, right? Because that skin has to kind of flake off. That's an oxidative damage, which is normal. But if we're not taking care of it, right, it'll start to get hard, right? So if we wash it and just let it air dry, and then we just wash it and let it air dry, right? We don't put anything emollient over it. We don't get any oil in there. We don't get, remember grandma said put the butter on it. We don't do all that good stuff to actually allow that skin to heal and rebuild itself. That's where oxidative breakdown would happen. But we know now, we know about restoring our body. We know about exfoliating our skin. We know about using loofahs, things like that. All of that stuff to get off the dead skin cells to help it a little bit faster. All of that stuff is supportive of not allowing your body to be damaged by oxidative stress. So protecting your nervous system and encouraging the growth of new brain cells and nerve cells. So this is where I say that it's not just an external process, but it's also an internal process. What we're doing right now, learning new stuff, me even sharing with you, is a process of autophagy, because I learned this stuff, but if I don't say anything about it, or if it just rolls around in my mind, eventually I'm going to lose it. That's a part of the process. That's just how life is. You learn another language, but if you don't share it with someone, you're not as tight as you used to be, right? So even this conversation, you're getting new wrinkles in your brain because I'm teaching you a new word. I'm teaching you a new biological process. As it gets into your mind, now you're connecting with your body. Now, the next time you go to eat, I wonder, is this supporting autophagy in my life? How is this supporting my, neurological, biological processes? How is this supporting my body? When you go to do your gym workout, right? When you're sore, oh, I broke down some muscles. Let me get let me get some chia water. Let me get some lime in my water. Like, let me do what I got to do. So all of that is allowing your body the opportunity to stimulate nerves in your brain cells. Autophagy also increases cognitive process, brain structure, and neuroplasticity. So neuroplasticity, let's focus on that. So it's the opportunity and the cognition that allows your brain to actually take new information and apply it and understand it. That's actually something we all kind of take for granted. It happens with our kids, right? When as soon as they understand what shape goes where, we're like, oh my God, oh, you got it, right? So that's when you see the neuroplasticity, right? Or when they copy you, or they mimic something that you did, or they understand that they can hold the cup with two hands or the bottle with two hands, right? Those are things that we kind of take for granted, but we also need to give ourselves those beautiful, wonderful wins. But that is where you see that neuroplasticity in action, right? When they understand, like, no, Dad, let me put my own shirt on. And you're like, oh, okay, right? They're getting it. It makes sense now. It's applicable. That's neuroplasticity. And then supporting growth of new heart cells, such as to protect against diseases such as heart disease and cardiomyopathy. We talked a little bit about that. So listen, our heart is a muscle. So if we're not taking care of that muscle, think about what happens with your leg muscles, right? When you used to be big and all kinds of, and then it shrank back down, that happens to your heart. You don't want them kind of problems. So you always want to create an opportunity to allow your heartbeat to be as strong and as provided with as much nutritional density as you can to make sure those beats are strong, those muscles are strong. And we don't need heartache so that we can get bigger hearts. We don't want that. We're going to stay away from that, but we're going to give it enough nutrients so that it will grow big and strong and love and all that good stuff. And then also enhancing your immune system by eliminating intracellular pathogens. So we talked about that. It's just a super fancy sentence for if you support your immune system, it'll be able to fight with the skin, the innate immune system, and your adaptive immune system. If you guys are not clear about what I'm talking about, join the Brilliant Body Boost. It's on now. It'll start, it's going to be on again tomorrow. We are going to be on at 12. It's class 2. Please join the group so you can catch up. There is 4 videos now that you will need to watch and get yourself caught all up. There's a book that you can purchase. It is no longer on sale, but I promise you will change your life. So you can take your notes and write down your fabulous Brilliant Body Boost plan. You can register. I'll put up the link to give to Pope when he starts to show these videos. But I really want you to take the opportunity to increase and allow your body the support it needs to for the natural process of autophagy. I really hope that this video was. I know I use a lot of big words, so I hope you guys can look at it over a few times, look at the clips a few times, take some notes. Like I said, I don't have a problem with you all asking questions. I don't think anybody's in the group now, but you guys are going to watch this and you're going to have questions. So I want you to send your questions to me. Send your questions to Pope. He'll make sure I get them. I'm checking his page all the time. I'll answer you. Make sure you send your questions to me. If it never applied to you, if you don't know what it means, if you don't know how it works, again, talk to me. I really want you guys to understand how to change your bodies, how to create a body that you want to live a life in, not just feel like you're stuck with your body. I remember feeling like that. And I remember not really understanding that there were things that I could change, regrowing and rebuilding your microbiome. Like that is a real thing. I've done it myself. I talked about it a little bit in a video we talked about today, and you Hope you even commented that comment, stood out for you. Rebuild your body into the body that you desire for you to have. There is a change. There is a transfer of power when you understand that you have the absolute power to build and strengthen and support and grow a body that you desire. You are not stuck. You don't have to feel trapped. Whatever diagnosis you have, I promise you there is some nutritional support that you can provide yourself. You don't need anybody else. It will allow you the opportunity to truly flourish and thrive. And I want that for you.
Turn back the hands of time, really, because
absolutely,
you know what I mean? Like you said in the beginning of the video, your actual age.
Yep, biological and chronological.
And then you can kind of start turning it back.
You absolutely can. Yeah, you absolutely can. And you always can. That's what's amazing about it. There's never like a cap. They're like you can't get to this age and that's it. No, you can always do it. Like you really can. Like you can totally mess up this year. Maybe you gain like 100 pounds. I promise you, as soon as you take that first step to get your body back together, to get yourself back on track, whatever degenerative disease that they told you that you have, as soon as you make the tiny little steps, big steps, whatever, just as long as they're consistent and conscious, you can actually always change that biological age in your body and allow your body the opportunity to be brimming with all of those healthy cells that are going to actually rebuild and allow you to, like you said, turn back the hands of time.
That was good.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Because it's always awesome just to learn new information.
Yes.
And not only learn new information, but packing on stuff that we've been talking about weeks after weeks. I mean, that's how you're going to get the information is by hearing it over and over again. But then you add something new, but and it starts to make sense now because you're just putting it all together. And then to go back, and then to go back to like one of the first weekly session that we did was we talked about really blueprint of detoxing.
Absolutely.
So now you start to see how one magic pill, one tea bag doesn't just miraculously change things.
There's no way,
And now you start to see the
why.
truth.
Mm-hmm.
The why.
And you respect, right? You respect your body for not being as simplistic as you thought it was. It's not a tea bag. Like it is a whole change. It's a whole process, right? Like you get it. Now you're going to be looking at the videos like that ain't true. No, you're not getting my $75. I'm going to go and buy me some fruits and veggies. And that's what it should be.
Yeah, it's the truth. So, yeah. Another great session.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was awesome. That was a great.
California, baby. Baltimore to the blue zone.
I got you. Yes. Baltimore in the blue zone. I got you. This is so awesome. I'm just so excited to be here. It's always such a blessing to be able to share with you and teach with you and learn with you and grow with you. And I'm so excited for all the communities and people that were reaching. People are reaching out to me and asking for support and what they can do, and getting more views and things like that. So I'm just really, really super excited about people getting the information that maybe they're not necessarily getting, like I said, from us, for people who look like us. And then also knowing the truth, especially in the time that we're in right now. We need information that we can trust. We need information that we can trust, and we need to know that we can protect ourselves without submitting to some world system that may be imposed upon us, or maybe that we feel we don't have any power to say no to.
Yeah, that's important because what's about to take place in the ensuing
Yes.
months.
Mhm.
Um, and I shot a video earlier
Mhm.
today, just telling people to be prepared. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And when it comes to your health, you want to try to put yourself in position to start getting as healthy as possible.
You do.
You
You do.
know, learning how to grow your own fruits and vegetables, because
Yes.
what happens if they're talking about a food shortage?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And furthermore, if you don't know how to take care of your body without a health professional, what are you going to do? You don't understand how autophagy works? They do. They're supposed to know. Maybe they're forgotten, but it's in your best interest to know, because they're obviously not going to sit down and give you an hour lecture on autophagy in a way that you can understand, like Pope and I are willing to do. This is the work that he does. This is a networking. He's not just networking with you about business, he's networking with you about the business of your health, the business of your life. So having that available to you at your fingertips, you need to do the work. You want to take care of yourself. You want to be able to sustain yourself. People were afraid when they were in this quarantine in the house. They were eating
Yeah,
dumb stuff. So you've already proven, left to your own vices, all you're going to do is try to feed yourself, comfort yourself. You weren't trying to nourish your body. And that's okay, because you didn't know. But now you do know. And like I
yeah,
always say, I don't want you to do better. I want you to do the best, because you deserve the best. But you didn't know
mm,
that. And now you do. So better is the baseline. That's what you're supposed to be doing all the time. That's normal. But you're not normal. You're a gift. Your body's brilliant. So I want you to be doing the best.
and if you don't know, now you know.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's another great session.
That was awesome.